If you were to follow the Constitution, you're a good person, and that otherwise, if something's unconstitutional, it's not right, it's something that should not be done.
Look, when Britain taxed our tea, we got frisky.
In American Studies this year, we have designed a new unit that speaks to the essence of both English and history and sets our kids up for success in the skills that they need.
Because the connotation to that is kind of overpowering everyone, being the most important one.
One particular activity this year that we're very excited about allows students to get creative with their writing, develop their thinking skills, and be able to really express their understanding of history and really understand the connections between the past and the present.
And then we'd have the thinking bubbles be like analysis.
So one of the skills that is central in junior year is analysis, analytic writing, analytic thinking, and our focus on Alexander Hamilton this year has enabled us to maintain that focus on analysis and writing a claim, finding evidence, developing analysis, but also do it in a really creative way that has tapped into kids' curiosity and interest. I mentioned Alexander Hamilton. Couldn't be anywhere this summer and not see Lin-Manuel Miranda, who's the creator of the Broadway hit Hamilton, on 60 Minutes, on Stephen Colbert, Jimmy Fallon, the cover of New York Magazine. So we kept seeing this face and we kept hearing Hamilton, Hamilton, and that's a story that we teach, that we have taught. It's a story that kids oftentimes see as kind of the static narrative of a dead white guy who helped create the Constitution, and yeah, it's important, but what does that have to do with us today?
Thomas, that was a real nice declaration. Welcome to the present, we're running a real nation. Would you like to join us or stay mellow, doing whatever the hell it is you do in Monticello?
The musical Hamilton has transformed the way our students are thinking about this important era in our nation's history, helping them see the relevance in new ways. The musical Hamilton has really provided us an entry into those skills.
First time I'm thinking past tomorrow.
And allowing us to tell this historical biography in an engaging way that taps into kids, again, curiosities and help them build skills.
Now place your bets as to who that benefits, the very seat of government where Hamilton sits.
Not true.
And you can't separate what he's done with it in terms of bringing hip-hop to Broadway. He's done something that has never been done before, and I think that's one of the things that makes it, one, engaging for kids, and two, just amazing to actually listen to, learn about, think about history in a really, really unique way. Hip-hop is just the language of youth, to be quite honest.
If we're aggressive and competitive, the union gets a boost. You'd rather give it a sedative?
And the fact that Miranda used hip-hop to present a history that for many kids feels so antiquated, so long ago, and yet made it relevant, made them want to listen, made them want to sing it, and really engage with it was not only exciting as an educator to bring it to them and do it with them, but really inspiring to watch them engage with history in this way.
What's your name, man? Alexander Hamilton.
We started by exploring three major questions. So what was the intent and impact of Miranda using hip hop as the genre to tell the story of the Founding Fathers? Those two don't go together. So what's the intent and impact that had? What's the intent and impact of Miranda, including women, who we don't typically associate with this chapter in our nation's history as being critical storytellers in the narrative? And then also, what's the intent and impact of Miranda racially diversifying the casting of the Founding Fathers? Alexander Hamilton is played by a Puerto Rican man. Thomas Jefferson played by a black man. What's the deal behind those choices, and what impact does that have on the way that we think? And so we asked students in exploration of those three questions and the work we did in class to actually use one of the elements of hip hop, and that's sampling. So sampling from other artists' works to create a found poem that answers those three questions about intent and impact.
Hip-hop aficionados have taken note. This guy has totally done his homework. Hip-hop was an impromptu like network TV, like MTV, those principles of peace, unity, love.
I think studying America through a hip-hop lens allows you to see the narratives of the underclass men. It is brilliant. Hamilton was an immigrant, a man with a plan. Hamilton has the potential, creative, not classic but original. Our cast looks like America looks now.
And that's certainly intentional. The creators and audience of hip-hop have always been multiracial and multi-ethnical. I imagine the Founding Fathers as privileged and educated white men, so having Miranda play Hamilton makes sense, and changed my single story of the Founding Fathers because he was just another immigrant coming up from the bottom.
The second part of our exploration of Hamilton really got into him as a professional, as a politician, as a lawyer, as a founding father.
One of the critical aspects of this portion of our study of Hamilton is his relationship with other founding fathers, namely Thomas Jefferson. Next year is an election year, and we live and operate in a society that's a two-party system. The roots of that two-party system date back to the relationship between Hamilton and Jefferson and their political differences. And so exploring that relationship between the two men, their positions, how their life experiences shaped their political positions, how those positions shaped the early years of our nation under the Constitution and set precedents for the nation that we live in today. That was the focus of this second aspect of our study, kind of shifting away from the musical and really diving into the history and thinking about the implications of that history and that story on us today.
A financial diuretic. How do you not get it?
And one of the ways that we chose to do that was to have the students create what we call a body biography. And the creation of the body biography has the students take documents that we've used over the course of the study of this unit and create literally the body of Hamilton and Jefferson. We had the head, we had the hands, we had the heart, we had the stomach, we had the spine, and each one of these parts of the bodies was supposed to represent what these gentlemen stood for. The kids got extremely creative. They were able to draw on quotations and pull from the documents that we shared with them. You could tell that they understood it. It wasn't just, I'm looking for something to add to this body bio. I want to find something that really stands for Alexander Hamilton's heart. I really want to find something that represents how Jefferson thinks and put that with his head and how they interpret and understand the way that this government is supposed to function. And they came up with some really great ideas, and it was really fun to watch them work as teams. To pull their collective thinking together, I think was amazing for the kids to be able to rely on each other, but also shine in front of each other.
And help one another. Because of their nuanced understanding of each gentleman, they were able to give each other ideas and say, well, did you think about this? Or if you're going to represent his skin, how would his personal experience maybe color the way that we look at his skin or his outward appearance? And so it really truly was an integrated collaborative experience.
This is peasant outcries because it's solid, but they easily fall apart under pressure.
So at the end of the semester, I try to get students to conceptualize all of their learning of early modern European history using documents. Students have written a brief synopsis of 30 different quotations from documents from early modern Europe. Their job is then to take those quotes and create a visual representation of what early modern Europe means, and then to share that conception with each other in an art gallery walkthrough. So you're seeing a whole classroom full of students, different ideas about what is early modern Europe, using text analysis to come to that conceptual and sometimes even abstract art idea.
Talking about up here, so you've got this movement forward, you've got this war and journey. What about this?
I did it very abstractly, the movement in society, how it can go up, but it also has the different swirls that it can change at such an equal moment.
Students always say that seeing 20 other models of the same material conceptualized and reconceptualized by their peers helps them study for and think about the AP test in May. And I encourage the other students to go around and ask questions. What did you learn about early modern Europe? What did you learn about the semester? And I think hearing, again, multiple voices and different voices giving an answer to that same question really does make their knowledge more durable.